Organizational culture is a heavily researched topic by scholars, leaders, and managers, and understanding its definition is vital to creating a successful and thriving organizational culture. William Schneider's 1994 book, The Re-Engineering Alternative, A Plan for Making Your Current Culture Work, offered groundbreaking work in its outline of 4 specific types of organizational cultures: collaborative, competence, cultivation, and control. Schneider provides a framework for each of the 4 culture types based upon their ability to assess and develop culture, character, and effectiveness. Leadership, power, and order are key factors of influence that affect the establishment of organizational culture. Establishing organizational culture can solidify consistent management practices, routines, and patterns for employees. In the verse section of this chapter, we will provide a basic understanding of organizational culture through examining the components of culture and then learning how to identify strong and weak cultures. We will look closely at the differences of cultural strengths, identify why organizations that remain committed to their unique cultures are oftentimes more successful than those that do not. Next, in the middle section of this chapter, we will look more deeply into William Schneider's 4 types of organizational cultures. The core cultural types identified by Schneider are control, collaboration, competence, and cultivation cultures. This chapter provides insights into each of these types, identities, and characteristics. Lastly, we will look at the influence of organizational culture, mission, and vision, and the role these play in measuring and directing organizational control. The study of the relationship between organizational control and organizational culture is the final focus of Chapter 16. Control focuses on establishing standards and measuring performance. Its purpose is to take corrective action based on the deviations and deficiencies identified through assessments and measurements of performance. In order to achieve the organizational goals, standards must be set and continuously monitored and measured. It is essential for clear expectation and standards to be established in order to design systems and methods to measure their effectiveness, efficiency, and performance. Control compares the standard of desired performance to the actual performance in order to identify and strategize corrective actions to align the actual and desired performance levels. Currently, there are 5 generations in the workforce: traditionalists, boomers, Generation X, Net Generation, the millennials, and Generation Next, Generation Z. Older generations are living longer and more active in society and the workplace. Simultaneously, Generation Z is just entering the workforce. There has never been a more complex and opportune time for organizations. As the tides have shifted, organizations are no longer run by only one generation. Boomers, though still actively positioned in the C-suites, are being matched by millennials and Xers who have departed from traditional organizational paradigms, creating new and emerging industries in which they are quickly becoming CEOs and successful entrepreneurs. With all this complexity, it is even more essential that organizations understand each generation within the workplace, as well as the possible benefits and challenges that may accompany their particular styles. Chapter 17 of your textbook will cover the distinctives of each of the generations currently in the workforce. It will address key continuing trends among both millennials and Gen Z as they become a predominant presence within a workplace, as well as new emerging trends that will continue to challenge organizations in preparation for Generation Z. Chapter 17 will also provide insights into the impact of generational diversity, offering key ways in which organizations can harness the benefits of generations within the workplace.